All right, everybody. January 2nd market update. I'd like to punch Jerome Powell in the uterus. How's that sound for a good start to 25? I'm going to go through a couple things. I'm going to do the treasuries. Everyone liked a little bit of stock stuff, so I'm going to hit that a little bit at the end. But as you can see, this is where we're at. I drew a very, very loose line here because I'm just, at this point, we're just hoping and praying that this was the short-term top that we had last week. So if this ends up coming down, we're right now we're in a lock at any given drop, right? We have a good drop in rates. We're gonna lock in like any sort of pattern like this. We're locking this in. Um, as you could see too, if you slide over to the market itself had that really crazy down and a nice back up. We're like, oh no, everything's fine, and right to this line. So I'm hoping that we on the treasury side follow the same pattern now, that we'll end up coming off here, breaking through, and some real changes. The problem is we got some good things we get to do today. So this line is like this is long. This is just me bragging. This one can go. That's been a while. But we broke through this, and we kind of can remove this one too. So now we're in a different spot. We're in a holding pattern here. So we're not doom and gloom just yet, but this is we're not up, we're not down, we're just bouncing, and we want to look for any opportunity we can to lock. If you go into the stock market, it's the same picture on the stock market. We're not up, we're not down, we're just kind of hanging, and we can do this for a while. It could be weeks, could be months, and that's what I think they're doing with rates, like we talked about. The banks are now making more money on every loan that closes, so they don't mind being in this zone over here. The banks don't mind being in this zone because they're still doing well. So expect that we're not going to get down to these these mid to low fives anytime soon. And I really can't see us going. The data is going to start coming out little by little that the market has shifted. So I don't think we're going to see a real poke above it. But we're at almost 7% at some point. Some people. So we're just going to take the opportunity we can to lock on any dips and then wait out reversals. So for two loans I have closing in January, it's kind of any day now. But for anyone thinking of buying a house, the one benefit is this pushes a lot of people out to the sidelines, because as much as like over here, you accepted the 7%, like, hey, that's just what the rates are. And, thank God I didn't get an 8, like you're okay with it because we were still on that high side. But now we've had such a dip, and it's been twice now. So people saw fives and mid fives and like, I'm not doing this at the sevens now, right? This pushed people back because now they're saying like, you know what? I'm not going to buy a house now. I'm going to wait a little bit out till the rates get better. Over here, you were just so nervous. There was no waiting. You're like, I'm just going to get in. That's why housing prices didn't come down when the higher rates, because people still needed a place to live. And there was no kind of like waiting. Like if I wait longer, it might go. We went up so fast that they're like, it might be at 10%. So now we have this under our belt. And I think it's going to push some people to the sidelines, which is good for buyers. It's going to, and sellers, then once again, they don't see the volume of people coming through their house. They're going to panic a little bit more, and it might lead to some more, some easier negotiations on the buy side. So that's where we're at now. This has been tied in very much with the stock market. They've been moving sometimes together, sometimes apart, but they're looking at good news for the economy as bad news for the 10-year treasury. But at some point, this 10-year treasury is going to give and start showing the little cracks that we've been seeing and talking about for a while. So at this point, I am for my locked loans. For my loans closing, I am praying that we get a nice break here and just get me any dip to a 440, 430, and I'll make some magic happen. And if we end up above that, we're just going to kind of wait and see. But until 480, we still have some room to move. So it's going to be a choppy. It just is what it is. But enjoy. And I apologize to Jerome Powell's uterus.